Hello, welcome to the Loch Briar Knits podcast. This is episode 128, I think, every time. I'm Kelly, your hostess. Welcome back for all the returning viewers and welcome to all the new viewers. We are celebrating two things today. This is the 7th year anniversary of the Loch Briar Knits podcast. And we've gone over the 2,000 subscriber mark. So it's like a double whammy. So I'm going to have to come up with a really good giveaway for that. And I didn't have time to do that today because I just sort of realized it. So I need my water. I'm very thirsty today. I was out shoveling the driveway. It's about 7 o'clock this morning. It was loads of fun. We had a lot of snow yesterday, so it's very pretty out there right now. It's like blue sky and it's kind of white fluffy stuff, so it wasn't too hard to shovel. But I have two finished objects today. I have a wee bit of cast-on-itis and I have a couple of purchases, but none of it is yarn because I'm sticking to my Stash Buster plans. Let's see, I have a couple of on-the-go projects that you've already seen. I have a new cast on and I have absolutely no progress on my sweater. But as I said, I do have some finished objects. So let's dive right in. Let's dive in, people. This has got a bit of a funny story to it. My plan for this one was to knit this scarf, and it's just like a wedge scarf. So it kind of goes like this at one end, and then the other end is kind of the opposite, with the wedge sort of going the other way. So this was all made out of my Sweet Sparrow knits, or Sweet Sparrow yarns advent calendar from 2021. And they were 10 gram minis. So the scarf pattern, which I'm now going to totally blank on. Oh wait, here we are. By Mermaid's Pearl. It's basically, she has it for 20 gram minis, and I think you use 13 of them. And I thought I'm just going to go with the 10 gram minis and use them all up, which I thought I did. I was done. I cast it off. I gave myself a big pat on the back. And then I was going to put something else in the little basket, and there was the pattern kind of at the bottom, and I lifted the pattern up and I found 3 more minis. So I'll just hang on to those. I'll put those in my scrap bin. And the funny thing was, when I got to the last one, I was like, geez, I could have sworn I had more than that to go. And I did not. I mean, I did. I was not wrong, but I did not see them. So this is what it looks like. See if I got this in camera. Da-da. So it's not like a too thick scarf, which is good because that kind of allows me to wrap it a couple times. And I do like the minis. I wasn't like super like, oh my god, all of these are my favorite color kind of things, but there were some that I really liked in here, and then there were others I was kind of meh on. But when I put them all together, I have to say I liked them more than I did when I was looking at them singularly. So basically what I do is I just make sure I've got it right side out. Preferably so you don't have that funky line. So usually I'll have this hanging down a little bit, and then this one's a little longer, and then I just kind of loop it through and have it a little off to the side. But it's very cozy, and it's extremely cold today, so it's sort of nice to have a little extra warmth. So this was my stress knitting, because while I was knitting this, there was just like a lot of stressful things going on. The company I worked for was being purchased by another bigger company. There was, we were waiting to find out, how my dad was doing with his chemo. His PET scan came back and the original cancer is nowhere to be found, but they still want to do 4 more like chemo sessions, which They call them 2 more rounds, and then each round has like an A appointment and a B appointment. I don't know. Anyway, but he's doing good. He's doing good. It was just like a lot of things going on. So I was just like kind of stressed to the max, and I was working a lot of overtime, so that was stressing me out. I had a book deadline at the same time. So there was that. So it was just like stress galore. So this was very nice to have as stress knitting because it was literally just like the simplest knit. You could probably do this in your sleep. I think sometimes I was half asleep when I was doing it. I was sitting rocking back and forth. I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Feeling much better now. The other finished object is, take this off because it's probably going to get a little warm. It is quite long. This is it doubled up. So, but it's like all garter stitch. So it's very squishy and it doesn't feel heavy on. So that's really nice. And that's by Mermaid's Pearl. And that's patterned on Etsy. Nope, not Etsy, Kelly. Ravelry. Oh my God. Words. So anyway, that was the other one is my super simple summer sweater. I have fixed the hem. So here we are now. I ended up taking it all back right to the last row of the charcoal stripe. I kept the same needle size. I didn't go down a needle size for the hem. Oh my God, I don't have my words today. And then I did the stretchy bind off from Very Pink Knits. So it is still a little waffly. I don't know if you can tell, but not too bad. And the other thing is the sleeves are a little shorter than I like. Normally I prefer my sweater sleeves to come to here. And I probably could have done it because then it still would have matched my t-shirt, my doubling t-shirt over under this. I could have done it because it would have just been this, then this part would be the same as the hem, color as the hem. Which in the pattern, that's not quite the way it goes. It's not too bad. It's good. It's, on the other hand, it is good to have like different lengths. Most of my ones come down to like about here, maybe here. So this is kind of more, what do they call this? Bracelet length. So this is the super simple summer sweater by Joji Locatelli. I knit this out of Illimani Baby Llama. This is the charcoal color and this is the dark gray. It is so insanely soft and extremely warm. Not like I'm dying, but very like cozy warm. It just feels like you're wearing a hug. So that's finished. One thing I think I may do the next time I'm doing a hem, not if it's a split hem, I'm not too worried about that, but if it's like a kind of an all-around hem, I think what I might do the next time is not go down on the needle size when I'm doing the ribbing, then do the stretchy bind off, but when I do the stretchy bind off, maybe go down 2 needle sizes. So I'm still getting the stretch, but it will, I think, bring the stitches in a bit more. So I have enough stretch so that it has some give, but maybe that might help with the waffling a little bit. I'm going to try that. I'm going to put in a lifeline before I try that though, because I really wished I'd had a lifeline on this one. Oh my God. If you watched the February vlog, it shows me unraveling it. My plan, I put a lifeline in about like right where the ribbing started, which is about 2 rows down from, like you knit 2 rows in the gray, and then I think you start the ribbing, if I remember correctly. I misjudged the lifeline, so it was not all in the same line. But even before I realized that, I couldn't find where I had bound off. I thought I did because I saw the like little where it was woven in, so I snipped it, and then I started to try to pull it back, and it just stopped. It just wouldn't go any further. So I did a little, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to go along the cast off edge and I'm just going to snip like through the stitches and then I don't know what I was thinking exactly, but whatever I thought I was thinking, it did not work out. It was a disaster. Like, it was literally to the point where I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to save this sweater. It was a mess. It was a mess. If you've watched the vlog, you know. So finally what I did was I thought, I'm going to go back to the last black row in the charcoal, and because then I know, like, I'll know where it starts, because I can just pick the stitch above the black one, and then I know I'm getting it all in one, the lifeline all in one row. So that's what I did, and that ended up working. But oh my god, it was like, I must have been about 2 hours trying to figure that out and get to where I needed in order to do it. At which point I was like, there were a couple of points where I was like, I don't think I can save this sweater. I just don't think I can save this sweater. But I did, and everything's fine, and it's very cozy. So those are my 2 finished objects. The other ones I have been working on, I did put a little work into the second sock of my vanilla socks. This is I think it's in here. Thank you. Fleece Artist. It's their organic cottage sock, 80% organic merino and 20% nylon, and it's Forillion, which is the Quebec colorway. It's part of their Canada National Parks colorways. So this is the Quebec one. I really love the colors in these, and this is the second sock. I have also the Nova Scotia and the Cape Breton colorways in this yarn as well. The Fleece Artist is from Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is where I am. I think I forgot to mention that. Welcome. Welcome from Nova Scotia. So this is the completed first sock, and these were been kind of languishing because I was sort of caught up doing the scarf, and then I sort of let these fall by the wayside, but then I kind of picked them up again, and now we're just at the heel flap gusset. I find once I get past the gusset shaping, it just goes so fast because it's just straight knitting. There's nothing else to think about. Just get to the toe. Get to the toe. So that's those, and the other ones I have been putting some love into. This is the first sock for my sister. So for this one, I've done the heel flap gusset shaping, blah blah blah, so I'm just on the foot part. This is the hard candy colorway from my Christmas colorways. This version of hard candy, usually hard candy has more white in it. This one I did like all in the mint green and then put the red in. I'm kind of thinking this to me looks kind of grinchy, but I think next year when I do this colorway, I'm going to go back to having more of the white in it, but I do like this. So this is the loosely based on the loose sock by, oh my god, I forget. I'll try to remember to put it down here. But this is sort of based on, like, this part is based on her pattern, which is just kind of a ribbed pattern. And then after that, I flip over to my regular vanilla sock pattern. So that's where we are. This is the first sock. I really got to get these done. So those 2 I started working on again now that the, what's that thing called? Scarf. Oh my god. So these are just kind of my sock things I just have been keeping in my little wicker bag. It's kind of handy to just, I can tote it around the house. This is my classic sweater, my second one. And I was going to do just the 4-inch neck, which is what it's called for in the pattern. My first one I did, I think it's a 6-inch turtleneck. So it comes up to here and it's very cozy. It's nice and loose, so it's not tight in your neck or anything. But I had my first one on the other day and I was like, you know what? I really like the high neck. So I think I am going to go and do it longer. And it's the classic sweater by Espace. It's a free pattern. This is being knit out of... So this is Good Fibrations in her Spring Frost colorway, which I absolutely love. And this is Illimani Echo Llama in their... I can't remember if this is the coffee or the caramel. Yeah, this is the coffee color. This is the caramel color. I can't wait to knit with that. I love their yarn. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite yarns to knit with and wear. So this has gotten zero love, because I thought at the time I was at the point where I needed to start doing some shaping, and just because of my stress levels, I was like, you know what? I don't have the brain capacity for that, and I do not want to have to tear back anything with mohair in it. So I thought, I'm just going to set that aside. And then I really felt like having a mindless project on the go. But I also wanted to use the upcycled alpaca that my husband got me from Knit Picks for Christmas. They came in batches of 3 or 2 in these kind of blended, like they had them sectioned off into different colorways. This is the one I picked to do first. So we've got kind of like a purpley, this red, and then this one is almost like it's got like little hints of the purple in it and also the red, but it's also got like kind of brown, some brown undertones maybe. But I love these 3 together. So when I need to blend 3 colors together in a shawl, I usually do my go-to, which is the Andrea Mowry Free or Fade. Because it is such an easy potato chippy pattern, and it's so simple. It's so simple. So this is what I've got done so far for the first color. I still got a little ways to go. But it's basically just kind of, you know, garter stitch, and then there's some eyelet patterning, and then, you know, it's just, there's some shaping obviously to get the curl going, but it's so easy. And this alpaca, it's the upcycle blend. So the purple is, this is called Space. It's a sport weight, which the Free or Fade is a fingering weight shawl, but the needle size recommended for this is US size 3 to 5, and the Free or Fade is knit in a size 4 US needle. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it, and it's fine. Like it's knit up perfectly fine. It's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just perfection. So that colorway is Space. So the next color is Fuchsia. If there was an H in there, it'd be fuchsia, I think. But so that's the kind of red color, and then the brownish color. Oh yeah, Current. That makes sense. That's Current. So that has kind of been those and the socks are sort of my mindless projects, but I have kind of hit the point where I really want to get back to knitting the sweater. So as part of the company being sold, the company I worked for originally gave its employees like a transaction bonus. So I thought I would treat myself because I felt like I needed a treat. I did a little shopping. So I showed this one on the vlog. This and the other one I'm about to show you is from Jezebel B. She's on Etsy. Let me do it this way first. And I'll put her information down below. But it's a loop over your arm kind of bag, so that if we're going somewhere in the car or anything and I want to bring my sweater project, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be absolutely perfect. Or maybe I want to bring a couple projects. It's going in here. It's so incredibly well made. It's insane. It's like this very sturdy denim. And she's got her little label on there. That was my first one. And then that arrived, bought because I really wanted it. Then the transaction bonus came in, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back and get the needle case. Oh my God, people. So this thing, it's Velcroed. I have been saying for the last little while, probably not on here, but to myself, I don't have them up here, but I have my 2 Chiago interchangeable needle sets, and I have 2. One was kind of the full set, and then one was the half set. But I'm always going back and forth because I'll stick them in one, and then they're not where I think they are when I'm always like trying to find them. And then I've got like the length of cords in this one, but I don't have in that one. It just felt like it was a mess. And then there were some that were like there's like the small and large joins. There's, if you can kind of see, like this is the thicker one, that's the thinner one. So this is the small, this is the large. So sometimes I would have the wires for the large were not where they should. It was a mess. It was a mess. So I really wanted to find a way to kind of organize them. And this, look. So what I have here is all of my needles, starting with the 2.75 and just going up from there. And then I have, these are like the 8-inch ones. These might be 16. These are 27, I think. And then I have like 27-inch cord. I think that's what it is, 28-inch cord. And then in this part here, I have like some longer cords. I think I have one that's like 50 some and one that's 37. Got in here also are the cords for the thicker ones, I think. I think that's how I did it. Anyways, point being, they're all in one space. And I still have room. I have plenty of room that because I know that I have some that are sort of in project bags that I kind of have to go searching for, find. And then I also have ones that are not like interchangeables that I use on a regular basis. And I'd like to put at least one of them in the different sizes in the things here. And I might, in order to kind of tell them apart, put them over the leather band into the thing just to kind of delineate or differentiate them. So then you just like flap that over to hold things in place. And then you just go Velcro it. Oh, but here's the other thing, like a little Velcro pouch here for your notions. So right now what I have in there is I've just got like some of the little doohickeys there. I'm going to go hunt down all of my stoppers so that they're all in the same place, because right now they're in bags everywhere. The little T-pins and then like the little Jagu ruler, because I still have plenty of room in that little notions pouch. And then you just Velcro that. And then you just fold it up, Velcro it at the end, and voila. And that's from Jezebel B as well. And it's in that same sturdy denim as the other one. Like this thing's gonna last probably longer than me. Now, I'm just gonna say, I take no responsibility for this. I blame Taylor from Wool Needles Hands completely for this and the other thing I'm about to tell you about. I'm just gonna blame Taylor. Sorry, Taylor. But this is from Kitchen Clutter. Actually, I don't remember if it was Kitchen Clutter that she mentioned. She had mentioned Magnar, and I was looking at their bags, but the guy was on vacation, I think, at the time that I was looking, and they were quite expensive. And at that point, I hadn't gotten my bonus yet, so I was like, I don't know. But this one is from Kitchen Clutter, who I think is in, for some reason, I want to say Tacoma, Washington. I don't know why, but that's her. And it's made out of this beautiful waxed canvas. And she has, oh my God, there's so many colors. I picked it's kind of like a steely blue color. I love this color. I love it. But I was really going between this and the khaki one. I was having a hard time. But it's got the box bottom. It's got two separate pockets here, and then inside there's 3 pockets here. These 2 have little grommets, so if you were doing color work, you could like put the colors through here to keep things from getting tangled. It's so incredibly well made. It's amazing. On one hand, it's got the Kitchen Clutter, and then on the other hand, it has wax and thimbles. So made that thing again, probably gonna last longer than me. Now the other thing I bought. So when I got the transaction bonus, I thought this is kind of an opportunity for me to take some of this and get something that I really want, that I've been putting off because it's, you know, it's expensive and I just couldn't pull the trigger on spending that kind of money. So I was thinking, like, I would love to have an iMac, the desktop iMac, to do video editing and things like that on. Right now I'm using my MacBook Air and it works. It's great for what I need. But I thought if I really wanted to get a little more into the different, like, get all fancier with it, I guess, I don't know, then the iMac would really be ideal. But the iMac was going to cost me almost $3,000. And I was like, no, I went back and forth, And then I was just like, no, I can't pull the trigger on that. My MacBook Air is only about maybe 2 or 3 years old. It works fine. It does what I need it to do. So I was just like, you know what? I can't pull the trigger on that. I honestly think that's too expensive for a computer. I really do. You know, if I were doing it professionally, okay, but I'm not. So someday, maybe next year's bonus, maybe I'll think about it, but that's a lot of money. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of gradually start saving up now. And then when it comes time to have to replace my laptop, I'll get like a MacBook Pro instead of a MacBook Air, maybe. So I put that idea aside. And then my second idea was I'd really like to get a nice camera, like a Nikon that does video, but also takes really nice pictures. Because one of the things I want to do in my retirement is really get more into photography, because I absolutely love, I love photography. I just love it. But I don't really know a whole lot about it. So I thought it would kind of give me time to sort of learn, and I know the kind of camera that I want. Then I thought, you know what? And we can blame Taylor for this. Totally throwing Taylor under the bus. Taylor bought a new spinning wheel. So here was the other thing I wanted to do in my retirement, is I wanted to learn how to spin fiber. But I was like, spinning wheels are really expensive. So I kind of kept putting it off, and I thought, no, I'm not going to get it. But then I was looking, of all the 3 things I wanted, that was actually the least expensive. So I kind of looked around, and the one Taylor had gotten was the Lendrum. I think it's called the Lendrum Double Treadle is the right name. I was kind of looking around, and that's the one that a lot of other people recommended as well. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get that now. So I ordered it this morning, and I got the Lendrum Double Treadle. I have no idea at all how to spin. Well, I went online and I found some kind of brand new spanking, don't have a clue what you're doing how-tos on YouTube. And then I know Taylor had some listed that she had watched. So I'm going to go back and see if any of the ones I picked up were those ones. And if not, add those to the list. And I do have some fiber already, because I had purchased some years ago when I bought a drop spindle, which I never used. And I kept wanting to use the drop spindle, and then I'd be like, okay, but I've got to do this right now. So it's just one of those things that kept getting put off. So I think what I may do is pull out the drop spindle, and because it's a really pretty drop spindle, and kind of use that to kind of sort of get the feel for the fiber. And then when the wheel arrives, kind of go back and forth between the two just to get the feel of spinning fiber, because I really have no clue. But it was something I had kind of flagged for, when I retire, I really want to get into that. So I thought, you know what, no time like the present. Because I thought if I'm going to spend the money, I'd rather spend the money while I have it now and not be spending money in retirement when you don't have the same level of income coming in. So so I bit the bullet and I ordered that this morning from a place in Ontario. I think it was called Raleigh. I want to say Raleigh Fibers. I'm not sure if that's right, but I'll put the thing down below. Link. Thank you. So that's kind of what's been going on. Basically, kind of going forward, what I want to work on is make a dent in the shawl. I definitely want to make a dent in the sweater. I think I'm going to put some love into that today. And the socks. I'm going to finish off the socks from the Quebec colorway for me, and then I'm going to try to finish the first sock for my sister before next podcast and get a start on the other one. I love the look of the loose socks, but doing that all over ribbing for that long, I find really tedious. I think this may end up being my last pair of loose socks. I love the look of them, but I don't enjoy the knit. So I find it like it's just really tedious. Ribbing, I find ribbing tedious. So here's something else before I sign off. Where this is going into my 8th year of doing this, I would love to hear from you guys what you would like to see in the podcast going forward. Are there subjects you want me to cover? Are there maybe different ways of showing you something, or anything? Like literally do a brain dump down in the comments and just let me know, because basically I do this for me because I enjoy it, but I want to kind of produce episodes that give you guys what you want, because you guys are the ones that keep coming back. And so I want to make sure that you're getting what you guys like. So tell me what you want to see, any ideas of subjects or anything you think would be fun to cover, any kind of different, like, I mean, you know, we usually do the usual like whips or finished objects or acquisitions, but if there's anything else, like techniques that I should try and tell you guys how it goes, you know, I'll be the guinea pig. It's all right. I guinea pig it. So anything like that you guys want to see in the podcast, let me know. Like, just brain dump it down in the comments. I would love to hear. So happy birthday to the podcast, and thank you guys so much for coming back every episode and joining in, so I'm not sitting here talking to myself. I really do enjoy doing the podcast. It's I don't have a knitting community locally. I mean, there may be ones around, but I don't get out much. So I find when the weekends hit, it's usually you're doing everything that you didn't have time for through the week. So I don't have a whole lot of time to really kind of get out and like join other things. And I'm a bit of an introvert anyway. So it's probably not helping me any. So this is like a great community that I really enjoy coming and spending time with you guys every couple of weeks, and then with the monthly vlogs. So let me know what you guys want to see. I am up for anything. I'd really, really love to hear it. So let me know. And until then, happy knitting, and I will see you next episode.